Hey guys, welcome to Project Metal Music's YouTube channel with your host El Young, and we are here with David of Sven Gali. So, welcome, David.
How are you, sir?
Yeah, not too bad yourself.
I'm doing very well, thank you. Thank you.
Cool, cool. Could you introduce yourself and what you do within the band?
Yes, my name's Dave, and I am one of the founding members and lead singer of Sven Gali.
Cool, cool. So, we've got a couple of people here saying hi. We've got Sebastian from South Africa, and we've got he's been following the show for quite a while now. And
Nice.
then we've got Matt Howlett from Hull saying he's dropping in to say hi.
Oh,
So
nice. It's great.
yeah, so let's dive into some questions. Oh, there's Dan here. Dave he says Dave rules. Yeah, so let's dive into some questions. So, as a kid, what were you basically listening to?
Well, I remember as a kid, I listened to everything from Kiss back in the day, and I remember being mesmerized by the stage show and the the Alive records and opening up that record and reading everything on it from back to front. Um, and as I got a little older, I started getting into Queensryche. I'm a big Jeff Tate fan, um, and yeah, and I love and appreciate all music. Like I just don't follow hard rock. I listen to absolutely everything. When you come into my house, somebody will have something playing. My kids will have hip hop going, or evenings there's Andrea Bocelli, or there's some jazz going on. There's always something different playing in the house, and I think that was like my whole life. There's always been something like that. I'd come home from school as a young man, and my dad would get home from work, and he'd be laying on the couch relaxing, listening to Pink Floyd. There's always something. Elvis, it was so my house was always full of music and different types of music, and I think that's uh, not really knowing, but it gets embedded into you, and you draw from that. So yeah, that was the way we were brought up. We just listened to everything and appreciated everything. So it was
Cool,
good.
cool. So who got you into music? Was it a family member or a friend or sort of like a school? Yeah, someone from school or
Yeah, I was. I remember. Um, I remember when I was a kid. I used to do plays. I did a lot of plays. I was in Oliver. I was in a bunch of different plays, and then from there, it was noticed that I had a little bit of a voice, and then I joined the school choir, to tell you the truth, and I was in the choir for a while, and then I met Andy at I think we are 14 years old, and we started a band in his basement, and we were terrible, but we kept at it, and we had a good time, and it progressed, and you never thought it would be still today. But he was the first guitar player I've ever played with, and to this day we're still going at it.
cool, cool. So who inspired you to become a musician?
I I always enjoyed music, and I think I was as a young man. I kind of like the lifestyle of traveling and being on the road and seeing different countries and cities and meeting different people. that's one of the great things about what we've done and what we're still doing is you meet people from all over the world, all walks of life. I've sat down at dinner tables with millionaires and guys with not 2 cents in their pocket at the same table, showing respect to everyone, you know. And some of these guys have been friends for a long time, and it's yeah, I think that's the biggest thing. I enjoy different nationalities and cultures and foods and wines and stuff like that. And you know, we I think that's one of the draws for me when I was young. I really enjoyed. I always looked for the kid when I was in school. I always looked for the kid from a different country to hang out with them and find out what their life was about, and you know, and what they eat and just stuff like that. It's always been interesting to me, the different cultures when I was younger.
Cool, cool. So yeah, you mentioned that with Andy you were started a band when you were 14 in his basement. Was there any bands that both you were in prior to Sven Gali?
Yeah, so Andy and I had a band when we first started, and it was called Destin, and we was a 4-piece band. We had a couple of friends of ours from our youth. I remember Andy and Jeff Martin. They were two brothers, and we all used to have day jobs, you know, working here and there. And at nighttime, we get together and play in the basement, and then we became really good friends and just hung out with each other all the time, playing music and then hanging out and then, you know, getting into trouble and causing each other trouble. And it was it was a good way to grow up around music and some really good guys who always had your back. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. So, uh, what's the band been up to? Especially
Sven
over the
Gali.
last couple of years. Yeah, yeah,
Well, I after D passed and things kind of dwindled away for us. I think we all took time to you know, just to reflect on things, and then, you know, we all have families now, and we kind of went away from the music scene. Well, we definitely went away from the music scene for a long time. Everybody went on to their own ways and found themselves outside of music. And one day I was like, I remember this day, and I was in my garage. I was cleaning up my garage, listening to music, having a pint, and Dan called. And Dan is he was a label mate back in the day on BMG Records, and he was in a band called Varga. And he called and just said, you know, what he'd been up to. He'd been playing, and you know, I've been messing around a little bit, but nothing serious. And he says, well, I was thinking about, you know, getting together and jamming and just see what where we can go from there, and you know, just have a couple drinks and play some music on a Saturday night or Sunday afternoon. And so when that happened, we got a hold of Sean, the former bass player of Sven Gali, or sorry, the bass player of Sven Gali, and he came over and we started playing, and it just felt good. It was nice, you know. We sat down, talked about a lot of stuff, a lot of memories, and this last few years with the band back together, it's been kind of like therapy in a way. Um, the way things ended, the music industry as it was, everything that we went through as a young band, the changes in music along the way. We got a lot of stuff out, and it felt really good, and it's comfortable. It feels comfortable. There's absolutely no pressure right now in Sven Gali. We do it because we love it, and we do it when we want to do it. Um, and just one thing led to another, and we put out the EP3. And then now we did the Spellbound tribute for Triumph, because Triumph was their studio Metalworks was where we started our recording careers and learning about recording, and it was nice to go back there and see Gil and record or sorry, shoot the video for that song there in the studio where the song was recorded, Studio One. So it's been nice, and along the way, I mean, when you're a young band and you're signed, there's a lot of pressure, whether people tell you there is or not, there's a lot of pressure, you know. And the first record, you had all your life to write, and the second record, you've got a short period of time. And so now it's like, you know, now we do it because it's our hobby, and we really enjoy it, and there's absolutely no pressure, as I said. And now we're working on something called Bombs and Battle Scars, and it's a little, it's kind of a thank you to our fans, because when we came back, so many of them reached out to us and were happy that we were playing and showed up to shows. And every time that we played a show, they've always asked and requested for stuff from the early days when we first started, a lot of stuff that didn't make the records. So Bombs and Battle Scars is just a bunch of stuff from the past, some demos. 3 is on there. We've got 2 new songs on there. Spellbound is on there, and it's kind of like our thank you to the fans for sticking around. And it was quite surprising, to tell you the truth. You know, then I realized, being a music fan myself, when you like a band, even from my youth, when you like a band, you follow that band for the rest of your life. That band will always be a part of it. When you hear that song, you remember where you were, and different periods and times in your life. And that's what a lot of kids and a lot of people now have said to us. I remember when you guys played this, and I remember this and that, and it's kind of nice. And then when I look at it from that way, so Bombs and Battle Scars is like a thank you to our fans, and we're looking forward to them hearing it, and we're looking forward to playing this year.
Cool. So, could you tell us a little bit more about the new album that you've been working on?
Yeah. So, again, it's a thank you to the fans, and there's a bunch of songs that demos that were on there, and we're just leaving them raw, all the mistakes, all the screw ups, and they're just a bunch of raw songs, and from us to, you know, show you where we were at that time in our lives, writing and the writing process. And then so we got a bunch of those songs, and then then we put the songs from 3 on there, which is Now, geez, I can't remember what bloody songs are on that thing anymore. And so Now's on there, and then we got Spellbound, which was a real good time to record, and then there's a song called Monster, which I think everybody is going to really like the song. It's called Monster, and it's feeling really, really good. And we're doing this song with a producer named Andy Curran, formerly of Coney Hatch, and he's been somebody who I followed all my life. I was 14 years old, sneaking into clubs watching his band Coney Hatch play, and now he's producing a couple songs for us on our record. So it's really nice for that to come full circle.
Cool.
And then so that's basically that's what it is right now. And then we'll put this out, and we're going to hopefully do a lot of shows this summer. We got some festivals booked, which we're looking forward to. It's been a long time since we've been on a really big stage, and so I better start working out and running to get my breath back, I guess, because we've been sitting around quite a bit for the last 2 years. So that's about what it is, and I'm looking forward to it. Actually, that's that drum skin right there. That's the front cover of the new record. If you can see that from here. So that's the front cover.
Cool. So, are you somebody? One of my my moderator said is that, and I was going to ask, is there any? Like, I know you mentioned a couple of festivals that you could be doing over the summer. Is there any plans on touring the rest of Canada, or to tour the US, or coming over to Europe?
Well, we that is something that we're looking at right now. I would love to come back to England and play. We had a fantastic time there. The last time I was there, we played. It was like, oh man, we were all over, from Dublin to Belgium, France, England, Ireland. We did, I think it was 31 shows in 33 days, 34 days. We were playing almost every night. Just go, 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 go every night. You know, you can't stop. You can't stop playing when you're on the road. You gotta, keep the bank rolling, right? And I remember that, and it was phenomenal. I'd wake up when we got halfway through the tour. I'd wake up on the bus and then, get a cup of tea somewhere, and then get on stage, and I forget where I was at sometimes. And they had to write the name of the city down on my monitor, so I remember where I was. It happens.
Yeah.
But it was a lot of fun. And I remember we played a heck of a lot that year, and it was nonstop. We were on tour with Def Leppard and Meatloaf and Ugly Kid Joe, and we toured across Canada with them. And then when we got to the east coast of Canada, we got on a plane and flew to Europe, and then did our own bunch of stuff all over the place. So we just kept playing and playing. Yeah. I gotta tell you though, I was never we were talking about influences and seeing people play in bands. We were talking about that earlier. And to this day, I am still, when I think about it, absolutely blown away at seeing Meatloaf live. I was side stage with the singer of Ugly Kid Joe. We were sitting there after our shows, and it was Ugly Kid Joe it was Meatloaf and then Def Leppard. So it was a pretty big tour. There was 50,000 people on these dates, and I remember sitting at the side of the stage the very first time very first show I got to see him, and I looked in the back, and I seen him just screaming at some guy, just freaking out. They had the promoter that was up there. He's just losing his mind on people. Like, I'm going, what is going on? And he was just, and then he came out on stage, and I could just see as he was walking to the stage, he had all this aggression and all this. It came to me that I think he's like priming himself to go out there. Like he was like an actor. He put himself into character. And I remember he walked up on stage, and then they started. "I Would Do Everything for Love" was the first song, and it absolutely blew my mind. He had 50,000 people silenced, just listening to the intro, and then we started that song. And when it broke into the song, the place went nuts. It was incredible. And it was I was just like sitting there with goosebumps, and I was looking at the singer from Ugly Kid Joe, and we're looking at each other going, I just can't believe what I saw, and how fortunate I am to see that from the side of the stage, from him walking out onto the stage, getting just freaking out. And it was all about, I found it after, it was all about because they had the drums 5 feet closer. He didn't have the full stage. I mean, there were huge stages, but I think that what I noticed, it was almost like he was working himself up to get out there and just kill it. He killed it that night. He killed it. It was amazing. So, yeah. But it's a shame. It's a shame. Yeah. But we were really, really busy that year, and we're looking forward to coming back to get back to what you asked. We were looking forward to coming to Europe. When we played in London, the last time we played in London, there was a bus came from Italy. I think it was almost, I believe they told me it was Lazio or the area there. And there was a whole bus of Italian fans that came up and saw us in London. And it was great. When I found out about it, I invited a couple of them backstage, and then I was heading back to our rooms and stuff like that. And I went with all of them to a restaurant. And we ate Italian food till late in the morning and had a couple bottles of wine. It's a lot of fun. So it's great meeting people on the way.
Yeah, it is. We've got Trinity here saying Spellbound totally rocks. Thanks, guys.
Oh, awesome. Thank you. Yeah, we had a great time doing it. And Spellbound was my favorite song. It was my favorite Triumph song. And I remember I always liked, because it just rocked, I know they have tons of hits, and I like all their stuff, but that one just, I don't know, when I was younger, that one just, it stuck with me. So when we had the opportunity to do a song, I said, we have to do that. I have to do that song. So it turned out. I think it turned out pretty good. I'm actually proud of it. I'm proud of all the guys that are playing and how we kind of made it our own a little bit, added a little bit of Sven Gali flavor to it, and it's great. And it was really, really special doing the video in the studio that they actually recorded the song in. So that was cool. And in the video, Sunny is Gil's wife. She's the blonde lady beside him. And apparently that song was written about her. So when we met her for the first time, she said to me, "You killed it." And that was enough for me. So I said, "I've done good."
And Trinity also goes on to say, looking forward to seeing you guys back on stage.
Where's Trinity from?
She is I hope I pronounce this right. Correct me Thorold, Ontario.
Yes, so we're playing. I'm not quite sure if I'm allowed to say any dates, but I will. It doesn't matter. But we're playing. We're playing a festival in Burlington in June, mid-June, and I think either the 8th or 9th. We're at a place called the Moose and Goose where we're warming up. I believe that's June. Dan will correct me if I'm wrong, but so we'll see you there, and try and get a hold of us there and Trinity, and we'll get you fixed up with some Sven Gali swag.
Cool. Yeah. So probably this is probably going to be the last question. Any advice for people who want to become musicians?
In the famous words of Geddy Lee from Rush, make sure you have a plan B.
Yeah.
It's a rough go, but I'll tell you this. I'll tell you this. Anything in life, no matter what you're doing in life, you got to get stuck in. You got to stay in it. It's easy to leave. It's easy to quit. It's easy to get discouraged. It's hard to just put your head down and barrel through the hard times, but you'll always come out of it. And the longer you stay in the game, the better chance that you have, no matter what you do.
Yeah.
So.
Cool. Yeah. Dan has said June 11th at the Moose and Goose.
All right.
And then he also says SOM June 16th, Burlington.
So the SOM is the Sound of Music Festival. That's a big festival there, and we'll be playing that. Looking forward to that one. Yeah.
Cool. So, where can people find Sven Gali on? Have you got social media pages, website, or YouTube channel, or?
Yeah, we have all of that. You can go to. We have a website. I think it's svengali.ca. I am not the social media guy. That is Dan's job. And but we have Instagram and Facebook, Sven Gali, and all our dates, all our videos, links to all our music, our merchandise. You can get through there. So everything Sven Gali is there on our social media.
Cool. If anybody hasn't got any questions, I think that might be about it. I think so. Thank you so much for coming on and doing this interview, David. It's very much appreciated.
I'll look forward to seeing you in Sunderland. We can go see a football game when I come.
Yeah, that'll be brilliant. Hopefully, yeah. That'll be absolutely brilliant. So, thank you so much, and check out Sven Gali.
All right, cheers.